In this video, I'll break down 6 dark truths with early retirement. I know a lot of us that are investing, we want to achieve early retirement or financial independence, but we need to think about a few of those things leading up to that moment in life. If you're new to investing or want to get better at investing, you're in the right place. Here at Tykr, we're all about clear, confidence investing. If you have a moment, please hit that like button. If you want to see more videos like this, please hit that subscribe button. All right, let's go ahead and dive right in. The first one is cash flow direction. So a lot of people out there are used to getting paid every week, every 2 weeks, or once a month. And when that faucet is turned off, that can elevate your anxiety. You start thinking about, uh-oh, now my money is flowing out the other direction. Well, if you planned accordingly, your account size should be big enough so it continues to grow faster than how much you're sending out the door. But still, a lot of people hit this point in life, the money hitting their bank account, it stops, and it's like, uh-oh, what do I do now? They start freaking out. If you're in that position right now, don't worry, you're not alone. Focus on what kind of returns you're getting in your portfolio, because again, they should outpace how much you're actually spending every month. Number 2 would be inflation. A lot of people don't account for inflation. So in the United States, inflation should be between 2 and 3%, but that wasn't exactly the case over the last few years. 2022, it got as high as 9%. And in 1981, I know that's going back a few decades, but in 81, it got as high as 14%. It doesn't happen often, but you want to think about inflation, because if you don't have a big enough account and inflation does last a year or two, it can erode into your overall investment portfolio. So just plan ahead that inflation is something to think about. Number 3, healthcare expenses. So not every country in the world has the best healthcare expenses. In the United States, the best place to be is with a company or with a government organization that pays healthcare. Now, if you were to retire early, the big question is, what are you going to do if something happens? And I have heard of many stories. I've read a lot of stories where, let's say there's a business owner, he sells his business in his, let's say 30s, 40s, or 50s before retirement age, and something happens. I've heard of people getting cancer, heard of people getting in accidents, and those healthcare expenses can rack up to hundreds of thousands of dollars if you don't get coverage from somewhere else. So one thing you want to think about leading up to early retirement is, how will you pay for healthcare? Number 4, unplanned expenses with your kids. Now, I'm reading a lot of articles out there of people who are extremely frugal, putting money away and achieving financial independence in, let's say, their mid-40s. And they have to turn around and go right back to work a few years later because they didn't see the expenses coming with kids. It's not just education of your kids, but it's sports, it's hobbies, it's extracurricular activities. It could be band, but buying equipment, buying supplies, everything that comes with that, there's always an additional cost you don't see coming. So that is something to think about. If you're retiring early, are you going to be able to afford those things? Because believe me, there are a lot of hidden costs that come out of left field that can hit you by surprise. Number 5, this is an obvious one, unplanned expenses with your home. It could be a new roof, could be HVAC, could be something that breaks down. Well, in my case, in 2024, I had to replace my roof. I actually got a letter from my insurance company that we're going to cancel your insurance if you don't get a new roof. It was a 25-year-old roof, so I get it, it's end of life. But it's like, all right, I got to fork out over $10,000 out of nowhere and pay for a roof. Fortunately, it's going to last probably 30 years, but nobody likes those surprise letters in the mail, and you want to make sure you got money set aside for moments like that in life. And number 6, this one is more common than most people would think, so relationships may change. If you plan on retiring early, there will be people that are envious. So what you want to do leading up to that is start to test the waters and say something like, you know what, I've been saving money, or I'm looking to sell my business, or I'm looking to sell some real estate, and it might put me in a position where I could retire early. What are your thoughts on that? Or what would you do? Get their feedback that way. And if they're contentious, if they're envious, you're going to know about it pretty quick. But if they're supportive, like, that's awesome, good for you, what do you think about doing next? That's a response you're looking for. But I've seen a few people over the years that retire early, and their close friends and family, they show their true colors, and that's not a good place to be. So just start warming up these people to the idea that you might hit that moment and just see what their response is. So overall, those are 6 things to think about when you're leading up to early retirement. I know a lot of us out there are investing in the stock market to put ourselves in a better financial position to Let's say you want to retire early or achieve financial independence, or if you're saving up for something, that's great too. But you want to be prepared for some changes in your life. So hopefully this video helps. Now, if you want to buy and sell stocks with confidence, I invite you to join Tykr for free. And if you're interested, I do have a webinar down below in the show notes titled The 3-Step Plan to Buy Stocks with Confidence. Thanks for checking out this video. We'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.